The typical determining factor of whether or not you should invest in an impact-resistant shingle, whether it's Class 3 or Class 4, depends on the discount you get from your insurance carrier. A Class 4 impact-resistant shingle has gone through more stringent testing than a Class 3, so it has a more impact-resistant rating than a Class 3. And depending on your insurance carrier, you may get a discount on your insurance premiums for having installed a Class 3 or a Class 4 impact-resistant roof. So usually the math is actually very simple. You look and see what is the cost to upgrade to a Class 3 or Class 4 shingle, and then you contact your carrier and ask, how will this affect my rates? And let's say it's a $1,000 upgrade for the Class 4 shingle. At that point, you call your carrier says, well, you're actually going to save $333.33 a year. And so you know after 3 years, you're going to make your investment back on that. And then so anything after that in the future would be savings. So it's kind of a 3-year investment in that time frame, in that scenario. And the other thing that you can also think about is if you do have an impact-resistant shingle on your home, if there is a moderate hailstorm, you're less likely to have to replace your roof again. So you would also avoid the cost of having to pay your deductible to replace your roof as well. What makes a shingle Class 3 or Class 4? Basically, the Underwriters Laboratory does a test. To meet the Class 4 criteria, which is a little bit higher than the Class 3, they drop a 2-inch steel ball bearing off of a certain height, and it has certain criteria that it can't damage the shingle. So that's for Class 4. For a Class 3 shingle, the only thing that changes is instead of a 2-inch diameter, they go down to an 1.75 inch steel ball bearing and drop it, and they can't show any damage. Impact-resistant shingles, Class 3 or Class 4, are typically designed with newer materials that allow them to be more flexible. And what that does is it lets them withstand hail impacts better than the traditional shingles that would just use a simple asphalt. So it's just a great deal for you as a homeowner because you're less likely to have to replace your roof should a moderate hailstorm hit your area. If your roof isn't leaking and it's a solid roof, there's really no need to just upgrade to an impact-resistant roof just to do it. Your cost savings would not be there over the long term in order to do so. So I would recommend, if you're saying, oh, I really want a Class 4 roof, I wouldn't just go out and do it just because. If there's a precipitating event that saying, I do have a hail claim and I've always wanted a Class 4 roof, that's usually where we see this. Or if you're saying my roof is completely deteriorated, it's leaking everywhere, I want a great roofing system, hey, I'm gonna look into the Class 3 or 4 impact-resistant roof so that in the future, I'm less likely to have to replace my roof. Impact-resistant shingles may be a wise investment for you. If you have any questions, feel free to call Rhoden Roofing.